What is up, y'all? This is Mr. Zilla. In today's video, I'm going to be showing y'all how to play Caly like a pro. So first, we're going to go over the items. So first we have Pheromone, Essence, Self-Defibrillator, Coffee, Vampire Teeth, and Muscles. I'm going to be explaining right now why we're using those items. So firstly, Pheromone. Well, we all kind of know why. I don't really need to explain it, but it freezes the enemies in place and it's a lot easier to hit your shots with Caly. Then we have Self-Defibrillator. That actually makes Caly basically unkillable in this new meta. So that's pretty much why, because then you get a second chance. Then we have Coffee. Coffee so that we could have a good start, because Caly is actually really hard to get a good start with, especially since that synergizes with our muscles, helps us get loot faster, which allows us to kill guards and bots a lot quicker. And finally, Vampire Teeth is to just heal. We could honestly use other items, but I prefer that because binoculars isn't really necessary anymore. Caly is a tricky character to use, mainly because she works fine in all types of ranges. She's really good at a close range, mid range, and long range. It mainly depends on who you are facing, so you kind of want to pick your fights depending on your range. Right here, you're gonna see me find a level 20 Lizzie. Now Lizzie is more of a sniper character, so that is why I would prefer to fight Lizzie up close. But that's just my preference. You could also decide to fight her at like mid range, but definitely don't fight her in long range because you are not gonna win that fight against a actual Lizzie player that is skilled. Right here, you see me in a tough situation. The fire is pushing against me and the Fae is targeting me because she does not see the Lizzie as a threat compared to me. What you want to do here is get close enough to the opponent where you can pheromone them and gain positional advantage. With Caly, one of the most important things and best ways to win fights is to use your environment to your advantage. Right here, I'm fighting a Fae and I know she can only use her bomb to attack me from the other side of the volcano, but I could use all my 3 weapons. That is why I switch sides, so it gives me a strategical advantage. Here you see the Lizzie come up from behind and sneak attack me, which is honestly my fault because I knew she was there, but I kind of forgot. So since I was in the middle, what I'm gonna do now is go to the bottom of the map to put the Lizzie in the middle. This will make the Fae attack the Lizzie as a primary target, which will in turn make the Lizzie attack the Fae back. This puts me in the best position because that means I'm damaging them without even taking much damage. Right here you see me get inked, which is why I use my vulnerability so that I know what's going on in the fight. And then I see that both the Fae and Lizzie are almost dead. So I'm not worried at all because I still have my self-defib left to waste. So that was an easy win. One of the most important tips in my opinion to know how to use Caly properly is to not just waste your active. You want to keep your pheromone hidden as a surprise most of the time, because what that does, it will make enemies think you don't have it and they will try to gain advantage against you by getting into close range combat with you. Then you pheromone them as a surprise and then they take a bunch of damage, which will either make them waste their vulnerability, a medkit, or just kill them in general. That is very important when using Caly because you don't want to fight people close range without your pheromone ready, which is why you also want to save your active. You don't want to just waste it. Right here, you're gonna see me do the opposite of what you should do when fighting a Nico. Nico is very strong close range, but he is horrible at distance. That includes mid range as well. But for some reason, I thought it was a good idea to get close range with him, which was gonna end very badly with me. I try using my medkits, but they just won't press, so I end up dying using my self-defibrillator, which is very annoying because I still have a level 20 Edna that I have to fight at the end of the match. Right here, I know that the Nico doesn't have any medkits left, or just one, but I know I could easily win that matchup now because I still had 2 medkits left, and he had the legendary spear, which is very important for Caly. It is her best weapon easily. So what I did was get close to him, I saved my pheromone, and then I killed him. Right here, you saw me waste my pheromone because I know the Edna thinks we're teaming, which I'm not. I just didn't attack her earlier because I probably would have died. Right here, you see me fighting the Edna, and since she's more of a sniper-ish character, I'm gonna get close to her so I could use my spear properly. She doesn't want to stay close to me because she knows that that's not a good matchup for her. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna force her out the zone by just spamming all my weapons inside the zone. Even if it's not at her, it's gonna make her take a lot of damage from the fire. She self-defibs, which worries me because I already wasted mine. But I know that I'm usually winning this matchup because once I get low, I could just go on my active and just not take any damage from her or the fire, which is what you can see led me to the win. In this matchup, you're going to see me face a Poe, who is a strong character at close and mid range. You're going to see me use the tip I said earlier that you want to save your active. Right here, he probably thinks I don't have pheromone because I would have pheromoned him by now. But I know I don't need to waste my pheromone because I could just tag him from distance. This means that when he gets close, I can easily just pheromone him and get away so that he can't use his fear on me. To see why self-defib is honestly really important to not lose with Caly, because I'm gonna die right here with 2 medkits on me, but that doesn't really matter because I know I have self-defib, and I know that's going to give me an advantage because he has to go back into the zone if he doesn't want to die to the fire. Now he ends up also having self-defib, but this doesn't really matter because I know he has no medkits left and I do, and I could just kill him with my arrow rain and my pheromone. To recap, I'm gonna explain again and summarize kind of what I went through in the video. So firstly, you always want to have awareness of your surroundings. Depending on which map you are, which you saw I was in Volcano Park all 3 matches, I know that going to the middle gives me the best advantage because of my weapon type. Secondly, you want to save your active, especially when you have pheromone, because it can surprise the enemies and you don't want to just waste it in case you get jumped by a close range character. Finally, you want to choose your matchups. Depending on who you're going against, you want to choose what type of distance fighting you're doing. If you're going against a tank or a Nico assassin character, you definitely want to keep your distance because you are most likely not going to beat them in a fair confrontation up close. The characters that you do want to fight up close are snipers such as Edna, Fuzzy, and Pepper. In my video, you saw me fighting the Edna. I kind of got up close to her because that meant that she had to get away from me. And you also saw that she wasn't really aiming her weapons, she was just tapping them, which is usually horrible aim and won't really connect or do damage to you, which is why I think it's best fighting them up close because most people unconsciously just try to get away from you if they're a sniper. Even if you, most of you probably do as well without realizing where someone gets close to you, just keep trying to run away and you don't really aim your weapons. So that's why you want to get close to snipers. This is mainly with every character, but since we're going over Caly today, that also makes it a lot easier for you to pheromone them and just deal lots of damage, especially with your spear, which is kind of hard to connect on a moving opponent. Also, guys, I know that this video was more so how to play Caly like a pro if you're more of an advanced player because of all the unique items I had. But don't worry, in the future, when I do more videos like this, I will be releasing 3 separate versions. For example, how to play Nyx like a pro beginner's guide. Then I'll be how to play Nyx like a pro intermediate guide and how to play Nyx like a pro advanced guide. So I will be using all the items basically. And that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe and tell me in the comments what character I should do next.